This is a second part to the gold standard trophy guide. In the previous video, I showed the 5 items that I completed to get the gold standard trophy. And this was footage that I captured right after I got the 5th gold medal. So you're looking at both the water and time challenge for the van up top here, the time challenge for the golf cart, the vintage car, of course, which I got last, and the motorbike and sidecar water challenge. So I thought I'd mix it up. You're seeing where I ended when I got the platinum, and in the previous video you saw where I ended before I started compiling both these videos together. So what we're going to look at here is 4 more gold runs. The final one is actually a silver medal, but I messed something up and I could have gotten the gold. We'll take a look at it, and I'll explain why I included it on the video, why I felt it was worth showing, because I think if you follow what I do, you will get gold in that final portion of this video. So here we have the water challenge for the vintage car. Again, like most of the items that we do for the water challenge, you want to go left to right on whatever kind of box you're working on here. This is a pretty boxy car, so left to right makes a lot of sense, but you want to make sure that you're only pulling down on the trigger while your nozzle is focused on an area that you need to clean. You don't want to use any more water than you need to get the job done. With this car, there's a lot of good use for the metal soap. This whole front area here with the headlights, the side mirrors, the shelf and bumpers, and even the doors, hinges and handles, even the canopy hinge on both sides on the back top of the car are all metal, and they could really use a good soapy clean because they're pretty rusty and kind of hard to get all the angles. But we get pretty lucky using the soap here on the front grill area with all the headlights and the horns. For the time challenge, we did not have as much luck. And here, because we're being pretty resourceful with our sprays, we end up being able to use it on the hubcaps as well. So that really came in to our benefit. Of course, with the time challenge, we were spraying like mad, probably wasting some of that soap and water in the process. It is nice how the water and time challenges kind of make you look at these events completely differently. You have to use as little water on these challenges here, and on the time challenges, you're just spraying like crazy because you want to get it done as fast as you can. So we're pretty much done with the metal soap there. We're going to try to use the yellow for the most part for the rest of the run, cleaning off the canopy and hitting any spots that we didn't have. Now we look like we're pretty good. 90s or cleans throughout. There's an 86 there on the windscreen, but we are doing pretty good with only about 2/3 of our water used. So we're going to let this play out. Again, if I haven't mentioned it already, this is double speed. So feel free to take your time when you're doing this. The water challenges can be planned out and carried out in a slow manner. But of course, you don't want to watch me sit and contemplate what to spray next. So we did speed it up for you a little bit. But we'll probably come back at the end to move on to the next event. So the other three challenges that we complete for this second video here are all time challenges. We have the bike and sidecar, followed by the bungalow, and then finally the fire engine, or fire truck, I believe it's called. I spent quite a few runs working on the speed run here for this time challenge on this bike. I found that the back wheel area, the swing arm, the exhausts, the spoke set, and parts of the sidecar, like the back of the sidecar, the mud flap, the little brake light behind the mud flap. Some of these areas were very difficult to get clean in a certain amount of time. But because the water challenge seemed to work well enough for us, we did go back and we tried it again and again, and finally came up with a pretty decent run here. The interior of the sidecar was one of my other kind of difficult areas on this. But again, as I said in the other video, you eventually get a pretty good handle of what your trouble spots are, what you need to get taken care of first, what you can save for last. You certainly don't want to save any trouble areas for last while you're freaking out, looking at the time, trying to get it done. You want to get those done first. So work out what works best for you, but certainly if this seems like the right path you want to take, then by all means, go ahead and follow what I do. But since we already looked at this one for the water challenge, I don't think there's much more to say on this one. So you can go ahead and watch the rest of this time challenge. We are about a minute away from completing it, so we'll let it finish out. Just a quick note, because I think this is the first time I do this in this video, but I know that towards the end of the gold runs, in the previous video I did it. But if you'll notice, I selected the spoke set. We have 1 of 3 done, and it showed me what I needed to complete, and I went ahead and completed it. I actually went back and rewatched that as I was recording the audio, and you can barely see it highlighted. I got it done even kind of before I even knew which ones I needed to work on. I just kind of guessed, and thank goodness I guessed correctly, because there we are, about 8 seconds early on the bike with sidecar time challenge. So we got the gold there. So this is the bungalow. This was one that I was going to originally put in here at 25:29, just 30 seconds short of the gold challenge, but I felt like going back in there and giving it another try right before I started recording the audio for the first video yesterday, and I was successful, so we threw it in. And I am not going to talk throughout this whole thing, but I am going to let the whole 25 minutes play out. So you have a pretty standard house here. You've got multi-purpose walls. You've got the walkway in the front that is stone. And you have a back porch that has some wood posts and some fencing. And I believe the bottom area of the porch roof is also wood. So you have 3 soaps you can work with: stone, multi-purpose, and wood. We are going to use the multi-purpose on the roof to finish the roof sections off. We're going to use the wood soap on the back porch area. And the stones, you could use the stones here on the walkway, but I chose to kind of hold on to the stone soap. I don't think I use it in the end, because I found that the driveway, when you use the spray of the soap, it didn't really clean the driveway in a manner that I could kind of trust it to work the first pass through. So I end up using this yellow nozzle here for most, if not all, of the driveway. I may pull it out at some point here. I can't remember exactly. I haven't watched the whole 25 or so minutes of this run back since I recorded it yesterday. But the other big tip for the bungalow, I would say, is to knock out the roof. The best option is to stand on the ground and use the extended yellow nozzle. I'm using the middle extension here, I believe, but I'm going to go to the full extension to get the tip of the roof there, kind of the crest. I was also kind of getting into the pattern of hitting that X instead of hitting circle to back out, just so that you get back to what you're doing a little faster, so that we kind of keep the rhythm going a little bit. But you want to get underneath the main roof here and get as much of that angled roof that you can from the ground, because it takes so much more time trying to get it standing on the roof, because you have to angle your view to get it. So I come back here and I do the other side of that same roof section best that I can. Of course, the porch roof kind of gets in the way, so you can't do the whole thing as effectively. So we are going to have to go up there and do a little bit. I'd say maybe a quarter of the roof we're going to have to actually go up there and do ourselves. As you can see, we're not getting the crest very efficiently here, but at least we're getting a lot of it done. And so once we get all that we can get done from the ground, and we get, I think, another wall or 2 done, we're going to go up there. We're going to use the ladder in the front of the house, and we're going to walk up, and we're going to use the multi-purpose spray on the remaining dirt that's on the main roof and the porch roof. And you're going to see a lot of that get done pretty efficiently. The run before this, I saved the roof and the gutters for last, and I paid for it. The roof took probably an extra few minutes to get done, because I went up and walked through and did more of it on foot on the roof. And the gutters I struggled with and at the last minute, and trying to get the perfect angle to get them cleaned and completed. And so we're going to do both of those things a lot earlier in this run. So you'll see that being done. And as I said, once we're done with that, we're going to go down and do the porch, and then we're going to continue around the house. You'll also see fairly early, see, this is kind of time wasted here. I didn't want to do this too often. I didn't want to walk around the house to get to certain sections. Should always be doing something and not walking to a section and not be actually using your time wisely. But in the end, it works out. So you're going to see me clean this front wall of the house and the driveway. And then I'm going to throw the ladder up so that I can get to the roof, but we're not going to go up there that quickly. Every single time I did the bungalow, the ladder that's sitting in the grass there, not the step ladder, but the full length ladder, yeah, I kept kind of getting stuck on it as I was trying to rush through and get the front area done, and it just kind of dictated how the whole rest of the run went. It just frustrated me to a point where I was like, you know what, let's get as much of this front section done first, then let's put the ladder in a position where I can use it to go up onto the roof, and then let's finish the front of the house. That way I'm not getting stuck on it, I'm not getting angry and frustrated, and I just have a better run altogether. So you're going to see that happen in just a minute as I'm getting very close to the ladder. But I'm going to go ahead and clean this window, this doorway, the driveway, a section of the wall, put the ladder up, and then we will continue to the next wall, the side of the house, and then up on the roof. And then I'll probably come back and say a few more things as we get to that section. But for the most part, this is a sub 25-minute run here on the bungalow. So sit back and enjoy what hopefully is a helpful guide to getting this 25-minute run done. As you can see, we're going on a little bit of faith here, expecting that we're going to be able to finish the porch roof from the ground. And also some of the gutters, they're not completed on the ground as well. Some of the piping that heads from the roof gutter part down to the ground level. So I would have preferred to do all of the gutters that head from the roof down to the ground first. That way I could knock all 4 of these out and watch them all pop without any worry of having to climb back up to do it. But in the end, it does work out. And again, efficiency wise, time wise, running around the house, getting the gutters, getting these areas of the gutter here that go down to the ground, getting those done first, and then going on the roof and doing them, it just didn't work out time wise. Didn't make a lot of sense. So you have to just make sure that you clean the top part and then head up. Once you know that you are completed on the roof, head down and get the rest of it done. So at this point, we're being a little risky here. We're cutting it a little close. At this point, I wasn't necessarily sure it was going to work out. So we used the wood spray. This part here of the porch, the fence area and the posts, there's a lot of different angles you got to hit it at. So we definitely use the wood spray in hopes that it will get around some of the angles, save us a little bit of time, and it does pretty good work. In the end, we do get it, but we are going to have to come back and get these longer posts that are holding up the roof. Of course, this is wood as well, so we spray that quickly. I probably could have gotten that with the yellow nozzle instead, because it wasn't that much to really waste the soap on, because we do run out of the soap eventually at 0.2 liters here. So here we're starting to panic a little bit because we got about 2 minutes left, and I'm not 100% sure how much of the fencing and the posts still require me to finish up, but we are going to get it all. And you're going to see me also have to highlight the, I believe they're still called posts, some of the wood slats that are on the walls of the exterior of the house. As you can see, one of them right to the right of where we're spraying against the house wall there, right there, yeah. One of those, I think there's 3 of them that we have to finish off in order to complete this job. Yep, 3 porch posts. There's a brick section and 3 posts. So here is one of those 3. And there's one more porch post. I know it's right there, so that's done. So now we got to find those other 2 posts and then the tiny brick section, which I'm not sure if I pull out the stone soap for that or if I just hit it quickly enough that we get the time done. So I'm just taking a second here to just take a breather and just kind of collect my thoughts. And I did mean to select the posts, and I ended up not doing that, so we backed up. We go this way. We realize it's probably not the best way to go. Let's go the other way. Thank goodness I did, because here's one of the 2 that I need to do. That's not it. It's right there. So we got that, and now we just have the last section of brick. So we're just going to highlight it again and just run around the house with 20 seconds left. It's not this one. Thank goodness it's this one. And I just walked past the other area where the dirt was, and we got it. With 10 seconds left, the bungalow is done. Again, you'll probably have a better run than I did. I sometimes go a little slower than I should, and sometimes panic a little bit. The stone cleaner, again, you could try to use that on the driveway. I ended up not using it at all, but it's there. It may help you. I found it didn't clean enough surface area with one go, like the yellow nozzle did. And finally, our gold run here. This is the fire truck. I'm going to get this done with about 10 seconds more time than is required for gold, and that is because there's going to be one railing that I'm going to walk past twice before I realize that I missed it right at the end here. But this is a 10-minute and 10-second run. You're going to see me make good use of the metal spray. There's so much of this vehicle is metal, and a good bit of it is rusty, especially these control parts. I think that's what that area was called, the control. All of these handles, the handles are what lose the gold metal for me. One of the handles in the back here, these steps are horrible. You have to get them at so many angles, and you can't walk up them to get to the top of the vehicle, which always made me angry. But the that handle right there next to the hose, that's the one that we end up missing, unless it's this one. I can't remember, actually. One of those two. We're going to walk past it twice at the end before finally finding it and completing the job. So use the metal spray to the best of your ability to get as much of the area as you can. Do not neglect the front, and if you can get the wheel area, the kind of hubcap wheel alloy, they're called wheels on this vehicle. Get the grill, and then of course the bumper. The bumper has a lot of depth to it, and kind of some ridges here, right in this section. So you're going to want to make sure you get it at the right angle, and then the kind of circular parts of the front bumper need to be tended to as well. And then this ladder, and of course the back ladder, the back steps of the fire truck, and the ladders, the metal spray does a lot of good use on the many little steps and parts of the metal ladder. So you definitely want to use that as much as possible. And if you have it remaining, you can do the top of the front part of the truck. That part's called the cab, right? Yeah, I think so. But I don't think we end up, did we already use up? Yeah, we already used the soap up. Okay. So we did what we could, and we are going to, it's definitely going to help in completing the ladder section. So you're going to see that get completed, and then we are going to run around and get anything that we missed and try to get this done in less than 10 minutes. And you'll see us get pretty close. So we'll let this play out a little bit, and we'll come back in about 6.5 minutes to see the ending here. So here is the elusive handle that we missed. We highlight it. I'm starting to panic, trying to figure out where it is. I got 10 seconds left. I walk past it right there. I could have gotten it. I'm looking for it, but I was looking at the other handles. I walk all the way around the fire truck. And now the gold option is lost. I could have gotten it right then and there. Finally loop around, and 16 seconds later, we get it. So there you go. Again, it wasn't a gold run, but if you follow along, it will be a gold run for you. So there's 4 additional ones. Hopefully this helped. And good luck getting that platinum. Take care.